one. Go.
Welcome to this week's edition of the MMA-Analysis Podcast. I am your host, Lance Fishel, joined this week by the full team. We're all here. We showed up this week. It happened. So, first of all, congrats. We made it. Nushan, how are you doing?
Other than just giving away all the money gambling, I'm doing okay. I bought a house pending inspection on Monday, so at least I can get rid of that fucking headache.
Giving away all the money in fake life and in real life.
You betcha. Love it.
Sean like paid for a house up there what you would get like a lakeside mansion for down here in the States.
So my favorite part of today was with Ben's tweet. Did you guys see that? With our boy Ben the Bettor?
Oh yes. How could you miss it?
So if you guys don't follow Ben, he's the most unintentionally hilarious person on the planet. And he still, after 4 or 5 years of this, still doesn't understand that people literally only tail him to fade him. And he tweeted out, "People are joking when they say they are fading me. Literally no one actually bets the opposite of my plays. Like this tweet if you actually fade me. Retweet if you tail my bets. Likes, 467. Retweet, 11.
And then the better part there.
It's even worse.
The better part is the poll that's underneath it.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of people that don't want to like that tweet just in case he starts giving out bets, and they don't want to be blocked by him. Because I think he was probably going to get some blocks going on people who liked it. So the guy put a poll underneath because at least it's anonymous. 91% fade, 9%. Tail.
That's
how many
low.
people?
That's
how many people?
That's 1,263 votes. So that's like 1,000 plus people are basically saying they fade this dude. He moves lines, man.
He put out his picks like real early this morning, and everybody got him around. The
Knicks minus 2.5.
The Knicks line moved 3 points by the afternoon. 3 points.
What line did he get?
He got
minus 2.5.
Minus 2.5 on the Knicks.
Of course, he got the worst.
It went to Knicks +2 before tip, so it moved 4.5 points.
Ben's worth 4.5 points.
And somewhere in there, he said it was a good thing that he got the worst line ever on his biggest bet of the year.
Yeah. I mean, that's just winning better stuff right there.
You know he's going to get middled. He's going to get it's going to land right in the middle.
Knicks are going to win by 1.
Yeah,
the guy
RJ Barrett at the buzzer, baby.
It's seriously the guy's like, it's so crazy. You think it's fake. Like there's so many people that's like, there is no way that guy's real. Which one of it is you? Ben is Bo. Literally hashtag Ben is Bo. Bo is Ben. It's not. That dude's absolutely real, man.
It's a real person.
Great. Yeah, it is nuts.
That's a real Canadian right there.
It's a real person. Yeah. Teddy's trying to join the podcast.
Now you guys understand why our vaccination efforts have been so piss poor.
Because of Ben.
Yep.
He ain't got to get it. He's young and healthy. You know
he probably tweeted that it would be so easy to roll it out. And
oh God, Brad, how are you doing? Everything good? Besides, you guys can't get vaccines in Canada.
I'm signed up for a vaccine. I'm ready to go, so I should be good to go in May.
In May?
Yeah, it's almost May.
We're gonna send you all the blood clot shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you guys are gonna send us the J&J stuff.
Yeah, gonna get that blood clot shit.
Oh God!
Is it any coincidence? Johnson & Johnson, J&J, Joanna with her fucking massive forehead. I'm just saying.
That's the blood clot too. It's a brain blood clot.
Right? You got to watch the chemtrails in the skies, guys.
Well, the funny thing with the whole Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and they stopped it and everything. It was 6 out of 7 million.
I was like one in 1.3 million.
Yeah, it's like more people die from chewing gum than choking.
And it's in women, and like women who take birth control. They get blood clots like 1 in 10,000. Yeah, 1 in 10,000 can get blood clots.
And that's just birth control. That
1 in 1.1 million.
Yep,
pretty solid. So me and Wes got our dudes trip planned and booked for next month.
Nice.
Fully vaxxed, baby. I got like a week.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, like sales for fucking Microsoft computers are gonna start just popping up in my head. It's gonna be great.
Bookies better get that money out of West this week, because by next week it's over.
He's getting the upgrade.
I'm gonna be in Caesars like, nah, fuck that slot machine, fuck that one right there.
So we're doing the casino over right across the border in Indiana. Gonna be there for a few days. Then we got a little box for Churchill Downs. So it should be.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Should be a good time. Yeah, I got my second dose last Monday.
You didn't have any problems, didn't you say you didn't have any problems?
Not really. No, like little body aches here and there. But that's about it. But like, and if I don't get if I don't get sick from something,
the AIDS patient not getting any side effects.
Yeah, like. A bunch of people kept like I had a bunch of people I know are like, yeah, I got a fever, I was pretty sick, blah 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 for 24 hours, and I'm thinking like I would if I didn't get sick and everyone else like they must have just injected water into me. Like there's just no way that made them sick, but not me. So
I got a good friend that got his second, and his arm was a little sore again. That was about it. My other friend's wife got it though. She works for the school system down here, and she said she got.
You guys have a school system down there?
You wouldn't think.
No. You would not think, for real.
But you wouldn't think. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited. It's something to kind of look forward to in the near future with everything we haven't been doing. I actually ate in like a restaurant and like hung out with people last night for the first time in a while.
I haven't done anything in like literally nothing in like 14 months.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So it's gonna be fun. In Churchill. Casino craps. It's the first day of NBA playoffs that weekend because they have a sports book there too. UFC event, baseball, horses. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Pony's gonna be fun, man. There is almost for me nothing better than a spring day over at Churchill, watching the ponies drinking cold beer.
It's gonna be great. What kind of cocktails do they drink? There's like special, is it a julep or something?
We don't. Nobody drinks that
julep?
shit. No, look. Let me get rid of some myths.
Drink that.
Let me get rid of some myths for you. Nobody around here drinks fucking mint juleps. They're disgusting.
I went there. People were drinking fancy cocktails. I didn't have any because they were like expensive, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'll just drink beer." But
people drink them when they come here. They might drink one on Derby because people are having them, but it's disgusting. Nobody drinks that shit.
Now I got to try one.
Yep.
It's like, just imagine bourbon with like a bunch of mint and sugar and shit in it. They ain't no fucking good.
Me and Wes are going to be pounding Habib's at 7 a.m. in the casino.
I'm going to get hammered.
There you go. Now you're talking.
It'll be fun. So many. The last time I went to Vegas, me and Wes were just going Habib for like hours during the year. And then Lou, the one year Lou met up with us. I don't know if you were there.
I didn't make it that year. Yeah,
I forget what card it was, but Lou met up with us too, and he was watching fights with me, and I was pounding Habib's, and Lou was drinking just a cup of Fireball.
Oh my god!
It was great. It was a good night. It was me, Lou, and my dad, and then like some of my random buddies and stuff like that. It was a good time.
All right, that sounds like somebody. Our boy Seawalk, Chris. He would love some Lou. You talk about a dude that likes some Fireball.
Fireball and chicken parm all day, baby.
That motherfucker showed up at fucking Jeremy's house for the Austin card we went to out there with a fucking handle of Fireball. I'm like, bro, we're leaving for the fight.
15 minutes.
What do you think we're doing with a half gallon of fucking Fireball right now?
You got to get going, boys.
Yep.
That's how you start.
Cool people though. Chris is awesome.
It'll be fun though. Yeah, I'm excited to do some things. So, all right, let's move on to. We'll start with last week's card, which, man, top to bottom, like,
happened.
Even when we got to the main, I don't know if the main event was good. I watched it. I have no idea if it was good. Like, I just could not get into anything.
Me and Brad were watching Logan Paul.
I watched
Jake Paul.
Die. Yeah. But like that whole card, it was awful. There was everything was a decision, but it wasn't like fun back and forth. It was boring fights, split decisions that weren't even fun fights. And just like we got to the main event and I was just over it. It was really late too. It was like midnight or something.
Yeah, it was a 10 o'clock
it was
main start. It's brutal. On a card.
It was not good. So yeah, I did not like that card. Anyway,
I had a good time on Saturday night, but not because of UFC.
Yeah,
me and Brad Zoom just us two, and most of the time we're paying attention to the Triller shit. Like it was fantastic, man.
Well, I put the Triller link on probably a couple hours before the Askren fight was supposed to take place, and I think there was like 8 minutes of sports. It was like they just kept rolling out these concerts. I had never heard of a single person that was doing these concerts or singing.
Oh, come on. You've heard of the Biebs.
Until the Biebs.
That was Doja Cat.
Everyone's heard of Doja Cat.
I got nothing. I don't know these things. I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to music very much.
Honestly, like the Triller thing, it was sad for a while. Like Ric Flair coming out there, coked out of his mind,
the slap fight. I saw that.
The slap fight. That was absurd.
When they wrote Oscar out, though.
That was rough. But as soon as they had the rappers, who did they have? Too Short. They had E40. They had Cube and Snoop.
That's a new group. It's called Mount Westmore. I didn't even know they were a group, but they're a group now. The four OGs.
Yeah, but I was like, all right,
young people have not heard of.
Yeah, no, well, because I was saying to Wes, I was like, I am not the demographic for this. Like, so far, this doesn't appeal to me. And then those guys came out and was like, maybe I am.
Yeah,
they're throwing a broad net to try to get
not good.
It worked. It worked.
Well, I get the entertainment appeal. I watched it and buy it. I watched it.
People did.
It was, whatever. I think the worst part about this whole thing, it isn't even the fights. I think that's kind of like if these YouTube or whatever guys want to fight ex-MMA guys, whatever it is, like that's fine. Like if Jake Paul wants to fight another washed-up MMA guy that just came off hip replacement, like that's on him. But now, you know what the worst part about this is? You guys know the worst part about this.
Oh, they're going to be way too frequent.
Nope.
All of the MMA guys begging for a fight with them.
Did you read any of the interview quotes from Media Day and stuff today? No. Chris Weidman talked about he wanted to fight Jake Paul. Uriah Hall said he wanted to talk about fighting Jake Paul, whatever. I saw literally no less than 10 active UFC fighters begging to fight Jake Paul today.
And Dana,
that's how broke they are.
And Dana's out there so mad that this did so well. Going after Jake Paul.
It shows how fucking poorly he pays his fighters. Yeah. That's all that does. Because
$1.5 million buys.
You could make.
Well, we said that last week. Unreal. Like if Jake Paul wins, he is going to make a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah.
Brad said that he's going to. The next guy he fights is going to get their biggest payday ever.
Well, that's crazy. The dumb thing is too. It's like with Weidman and Uriah and all these guys. If you think Dana White's going to let a signed fighter go over there and fight Jake Paul, this is not the Mayweather situation. Like, just give it a rest. Like, I want to see him. Like, I want to see him fight Woodley. Woodley's done, right? He's not fighting again in the UFC.
I want to see him box Brock Lesnar.
I was thinking Rumble, but Rumble's still active.
Yeah,
Rumble's about to fight, baby, and it's a hell of a fight.
Do you see that
Rumble's
picture of him
ready
recently?
to fight?
Holy
it's
fuck, he's
wild,
skinny. He looks like a
man.
triangle.
How much shit was Rumble putting into his body over the past few years?
He didn't look good in that picture. He looked skinny.
Skinny.
He looked 170-pound Rumble, who weighed 180.
He was like
that's the best. The angry Rumble. We need that guy.
Like 280. Dude was like 280 a couple years, like 280.
His face was like.
I mean, everything was like that. His fucking shoulders were up to his like cheekbones and shit.
He looked like he always had the mumps.
Yeah, he was quite big, but I don't know who Jake Paul fights next. I don't really care.
I don't care. No.
All I know is it's not going to be someone that is easily going to beat him. That's why it's not going to be the Woodleys, and we read all this stuff or whatever. It's not going to be someone who has any chance of beating.
He's had 3 fights. Like, if you want to talk about it in a legitimate fight perspective, the dude's had 3 fights.
He's the one that's calling these guys out. That's the thing. That's why I'm responding.
He's the money. He can do whatever he wants.
Did you see who he asked for today?
Oh, he was calling DC.
DC? All right. DC for free.
DC murdering. No, I mean, look, he ain't fighting Woodley. He's not fucking getting in the ring with Woodley. Woodley would knock that kid dead.
You would kill him.
Yeah, Woodley would knock him dead.
Woodley a couple weeks ago just fought Vicente Luque
and almost knocked him
dead. Almost knocked him out.
Yep. He caught him clean. Like, funny enough, that Woodley fight, like, that was the best I thought Woodley looked in a bit. He was like, I don't know if Woodley's completely like washed, right? Like, we're gonna be talking about Chris Weidman today. Woodley's not as washed as Chris Weidman. Woodley was gun shy and he went through all this stuff. Like, if you put Woodley in there against the 26th ranked guy, whoever that is,
if that Woodley shows up,
exactly.
He reverts back to I'm not throwing no punches, Woodley.
Yeah.
You know,
Woodley came up. Even counterpunching Woodley can probably beat those guys.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being real.
Yeah. Yep.
It's true.
Anyway, we'll talk about this card, I guess. Shitty card on paper, and even worse card in reality.
Lance, you're wrong, because these cards always deliver, man.
They always bring it. Yeah. Bantamweight division. This one I actually enjoyed. Tony Gravely defeated Anthony Burchak by knockout. Burchak, one of the least talented dudes who's gotten a rerun in the UFC. A rerun, I think, is a good way to put these. He's just good for him to get another couple paydays.
He gets beat up well.
Yeah, Gravely's interesting. He's going to beat some guys with his wrestling and top game and ground and pound. He's going to beat some guys. Absolutely no striking whatsoever. But at least there was a finish.
Yep.
I didn't want to finish. I was hoping that fucking
I thought Gravely was going to win a decision, but that was dumb because Burchak
got
not
nothing.
Durable.
He's got nothing. All right, and then we move to the lightweight division. Austin Hubbard defeated Dakota Bush. Unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. Hubbard's not good. I almost bet on Bush. I talked myself out of it because short notice. I don't know a bunch about him, but like, there's not many guys that I would not bet against Hubbard in the UFC at plus money. The guy, he didn't. I don't think he looked good at all in this fight. I thought he made so many errors, and like the third round, Bush is basically walking zombie unconscious, and like he almost mounted him or had his back for a second or something. Like, Hubbard's just not good, really, at anything.
He can just do all right.
He's got good cardio.
He's got good cardio, and that gets you by a decent amount of shitty fighters.
Cardio and chin at UFC level now sometimes is enough to kind of get by because a lot of guys don't have cardio and don't have chin.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, we'll move on now to my boy Meerkat. He was plus money in this fight. I wasn't able to join the podcast last week, as you know. Was Meerkat consensus? What was consensus?
Not Meerkat.
The guy that should have won, that you won money on.
Oh, my Pena bet. Yeah. Meerkat versus a guy who enjoys getting choked. A guy who wants to grapple with him. Meerkat's not going to beat a lot of strikers, but a guy who wants to grapple with him that's not very good. I like Meerkat in those fights.
I was just worried that his chin was just completely shot. And
and I didn't.
He could touch it.
I didn't think he would necessarily want to grapple with Meerkat, and he stuck his neck in.
He was definitely going to grapple.
He literally pulled the lowest IQ move I've ever fucking seen. Dude literally gave his neck up. I mean, that was just like, here, just choke me out.
Yep, it was great.
He likes choke play. What can you say?
He does enjoy geting choked.
Busted everywhere. It's a South Park.
That was a sick guillotine too. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was.
That was nasty. So
I think after all, the fabulous Bartinsky might not be so fabulous.
He's not very good. But I just figured it was going to be a grappling. I almost took it by sub, but I just figured it was going to be a grappling match because Bartos always grapples what he does. Like, guys who grapple every one of their fights are not going to just be smart and strike because they can't strike either. All right.
I mean, if he struck, then Meerkat would have won that too, unless he got knocked out.
Yeah, at least it's fast one. And then women's strawweight division. The ladies always bring it. Just the WMA is Jessica Penne, who wasn't good before, takes 4 years off, comes back, wins the fight. Just like that, ladies.
Canada,
bringing it. There was, I think, I rarely paid attention, but I believe she had her back and just sat there for like 4 minutes of the second round, give or take.
And the first round, and the third round, I think.
But like,
I had a
one
little decision.
standing, had her back, and just hugged her for like 4 straight minutes.
Seems about right.
That might have been the only part of the fight I watched.
There was a power bomb in there, and that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
everything else sucked.
That now.
Who landed the power bomb?
Chick that lost.
Yeah.
The
Canadian, of course.
She was Canadian? Why did you say I didn't know she was Canadian.
She's Mexican. She's not Canadian.
She's Mexican. And
from
Mexican.
Sure.
That's fair.
I took some mistake. I thought it should have lost though. I thought they lost.
Oh, I forgot to look at the comment section. Hyper Blue wants me to do a hog analysis for all 3 title fights.
We'll get there.
Oh, we'll get there. We're giving you. We got some things for you, Lance.
I appreciate you joining for the first time live, Fred.
He said, Askren.
There's like the first 9 fights of Askren's career, though. So
one of the funniest things I saw on Twitter like all weekend was whoever put it together, like family all at the dinner table looking into the kitchen. It's Askren and Wade said, "It's nice of you to join us for dinner." And it's him from weigh-in, just belly out.
Someone said Jake Paul wants to box Royce Gracie. It's George. That's a good one. I had the suggestion. I was kind of being serious. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls out cripple Matt Hughes. That'd be a good fight.
Ooh.
Matt Hughes is a good one.
Yeah. I mean, if you can take a hit
get off the tracks and the train's coming through.
I mean, if you can take a hit from a fucking train, you can take that Paul right in. Yeah.
But wait, because BJ Penn is also all up in that mix, and he couldn't take a hit from BJ Penn, and BJ Penn got knocked out by the dude at the luau bar.
Drunk dude.
I saw that. So, not to break this down, who wins between Jake Paul and BJ Penn?
That's a sad day. That's a sad day.
Definitely not BJ Penn.
BJ was like, he'd go for a heel hook.
Jake Paul's about to make $15 million just running through these old fucking decrepit UFC guys.
I saw odds of who his next fight will be, and the first one was for some boxer Fournier or something.
Yeah,
he's a boxer?
Yeah,
that nobody knows, and he's the odds-on favorite who's going to fight next. Okay,
terrible.
Yeah, no,
Paul's going to fight a no-name boxer next. Yeah, that's something's going to happen. Or is he going to fight Royce Gracie?
I'd say, yeah, that's more like it. Yeah.
Well, one on the odds list that I really liked was the Crippler.
Leaving they dig it.
The ghost
body. That happened where I'm from, Marietta, Georgia.
I know,
sir.
Chris Lieben would kill that man.
Kill him.
Seriously, would kill that man.
Boxing gloves off as they were walking to the ring. Nah, bro, we don't need these.
Bare knuckle, baby.
And now you guys see why Jake Paul makes money. I've still never seen a second of any of his YouTube videos, and yet we've talked about him for like 15 minutes of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they make like prank videos? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
I don't even know. I honestly don't know why people watch him.
I mean, I don't. They're just kind of like almost influencers.
Were they Vine stars? Were they like? Is that how people?
I think his brother was the one that was like the popular one first.
We need to move on because I don't know any of the shit you guys are talking about right now.
I don't know that none of us do.
We're going too deep here.
Yeah.
All right, so
let's get back to Jessica Penne. Come on.
Let's go real in depth.
It's more interesting
fight. All right. Heavyweight division, Romanov defeated Espino. Technical split decision after he couldn't continue the third round. So I get it, I guess, that why would you judge the third round for one?
It was the rules.
But those rules are stupid. Judge the first 2 rounds or over whatever. It was like a minute. And didn't Espino, I barely paid attention. Didn't Espino win most of that third round in like reality?
Oh, yes. Oh yeah.
Well, he won it on the judges' scorecards too. Two of the judges gave Romanov the first round.
What?
Yep. Dave Hagen and Tony Weeks gave Romanov
Tony
round
Weeks,
1.
Boy.
What?
That is why he lost. It isn't because some judges felt bad for Romanov's nuts and gave him the third round. All of them gave Espino the third round. It was the first round that 2 judges gave Romanov the first. That's fucking brutal.
Anytime I hear that people want open scoring, I think of something like that. I'm just like, I would not be able to watch the rest of the fight, knowing that 2 judges scored a round for the guy that clearly lost that round.
I would only want open scoring if we had some kind of penalty, like in Pride, where it's like, if you're running away from the action, or what they had, a yellow card or whatever.
Yellow card, red card, whatever.
And still, I don't want open scoring. I want to complain afterwards.
The only thing the only thing I think would be good about it is them knowing that in that moment in time, they're all eyes are on their score. They might actually pay attention to the fights instead of some of them you see looking in the crowd and checking out the ring card girl and every fucking thing else.
With how bad MMA judging is and how crazy, like in the corner too, it's a lot of like MMA fighters. And if that first round, right? They show the first round scores and they say Espino lost the round. One of his corner guys goes over to a judge, just starts pummeling him at the table. That's all.
Yeah, would you be surprised at all if one of those crazy fucking Brazilians went over and started welling on a judge if he was down 2 rounds going into the third? There's no.
Well, think of the cheating that would take place in the third round. Like you're down. Like it's towards the end of the second. You're getting, you're down a round. You're probably losing the second. So you just run up and soccer kick the dude in the ball.
Nuts. I'm taking my fouls now, Rev.
Or like you're the guy's trying to take you down. You're just holding on for dear life under the cage.
The cage.
The cards don't matter.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? Take a point, Rev?
Yeah.
Take it all day. I can give a point.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see it. Anyway, whatever. Romanov sucks.
Fatties.
He knows
Cash
old.
it. Cash him. Cash Romanov. Cash fatties.
Speaking of cashing, easy win here.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you.
My boy Violent Bob Ross just taking care of Alex Munoz.
Pacifist Bob Ross.
What did the MMA decisions have on this one?
I haven't
2/3 Munoz, 1/3 Pena.
I didn't think it was the worst decision of all time. I wouldn't call it a robbery. I'd call it the wrong decision, I think.
It was
But
bad.
at the same time,
It was
wasn't
Sal
like
D'Amato special right there.
Munoz really didn't. I don't know. Like this, the second round wasn't like some like borderline 10-8 type thing. Like both those guys suck too, real bad. Those are some bad.
Two of the 3 judges gave Pena the second round.
Well, yeah, that's how he won the split decision.
They
How else would he have got it? He didn't win the first.
Pena's just not gonna be good, man.
Ever. No.
This guy's getting by on his name and look and just some height.
I don't think I'm going to bet him again. I'm going to
hope not.
You take your W's.
I would not lay juice on him. That's for sure.
Nope.
You take your W's where you can get them. I've had way worse decisions happen to me constantly, so I will take.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I just got Romanov. I mean, I'll take that shit. It's shit's hard. I mean, fuck that. Yeah.
Take wins. I didn't watch any of this fight. I can't speak on it. But Tracy Cortez versus Justine Kish. It happened. It was a split. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
More just incredibly bad scoring. Like however.
Did Cortez not win?
Kish didn't win 2 rounds of that fight.
Oh,
They're fucking nuts. They're out of their minds.
Did she shit herself this time?
I was in the room, and this was on the TV, but I don't have a single memory of it. So yes, she absolutely shit herself all over.
I was probably watching Doja.
Yep.
I was probably watching Doja Cat on a fucking stripper pole at that point. Like Triller had some wild shit going on.
I was watching slap fights with Ric Flair judging.
Yeah, no, I was watching Ric Flair.
This was Frank Mir surviving.
Yeah,
proving that he can hang in there with
Frank going 6 rounds with a legit professional boxer like
carrying him. He didn't even try to punch him most of the time.
I mean, Frank looked like he could barely breathe, and he was looking for the fucking buffet. But
it was
he went 6 rounds.
And then middleweight division, Jacob Malkoon defeated Al Hassan by decision. To get out wrestled by a guy like that takes some like skill. And I bet I had this in a parlay. I was basically even on this card, but like I had this in a parlay as doesn't go the distance. Didn't think this was one of the possibilities of just getting laid on. I figured if it got to the ground, Al Hassan would give up, just start tapping out of nowhere, or he would land a bomb. I didn't see just a lay and pray approach in this fight, but here we are. Al Hassan's cut, right? I mean, that's pretty straight, right?
Oh yeah.
So bad.
Go on
bad.
mute.
I had
first,
Alice on. I had Alice on TKO, and I was just like,
of course,
as soon as that first takedown, I was just like, oh, well, he is that bad. This is over. He's
I
gonna
thought he was going to get choked out too, because I just said doesn't go, and I was like, okay, this guy's getting choked out anytime now.
That shows you how shitty.
I thought he was quitting at any time.
Yeah,
wanting out of that, but hey, props to him for getting up, I guess, and not quitting. Like, God damn, that's like we talked about. Ain't that like Izzy's or Whittaker, one of Whittaker's fucking punching bags? Like that's bad. That's really fucking bad.
That was not good. Heavyweight division, Andrei Arlovski defeated Chase Sherman.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
That was awesome.
I'll say this about Arlovski's run outside of he got demolished last fights. Cumulative, if you take Arlovski's last, let's say 10 fights, I don't know if there's 30 seconds of fun in there. If you combine the last 10 fights, all, of course, 15 minutes for every single one. I don't know if there's 30 seconds of fun.
Other than him getting knocked the fuck out.
Yes. Why
that fight, like, it might just be because the rest of the card was absolute dog shit. But that was all right.
It was
like
that was one of the better.
The first round was okay, and then Sherman was fucking gassed or whatever. And
and then Arlovski was winning the next 2 rounds, and that was fun because he's Arlovski.
If he's winning, it's horrible. I don't do it. He's a good guy. He's an ambassador of the sport, whatever. Good guy. But
he made more money than like the rest of the card combined for that.
As much as Ben Askren.
Yeah,
and Ben Askren fought an undefeated boxer.
A guy who never lost.
Arlovski's run is, however he looks, it's pretty insane that the guy's still in there beating some of these dumbass heavyweights that are 15 years younger than him and shit. It's pretty wild to watch.
It is not enjoyable.
No, it's not great. I mean, if we're gonna get him at around even money against the likes of Chase Sherman again, like, I'll take it. Like, give it to me.
I'm gonna keep betting against him.
Yep, me too, and keep losing money.
No left. He's horrible at everything except that's boring.
Except winning.
He's somehow grown a chin, somewhat chin, and that's how shitty heavyweight is. That is
chin and cardio. That's how he wins.
Hey, he's the Austin Hubbard of the heavyweight division.
Oh, shoot me dead. All right. And then we had Robert Whittaker defeating Kelvin Gastelum. I mean, like this wasn't a horrible fight, but like I found myself just barely paying attention. Whittaker was winning handily. Nothing overly crazy was happening, and I was just burnt out, man. That card just took the life out of me. Like I didn't even want to move. Like if I had the energy to move, I would have turned it off.
Whittaker looked amazing. Like
he's still fucking good.
I mean, like I thought he was starting to break down a little bit, and that's definitely not the case. And when he's healthy, fully healthy like that, the guy's still the second best middleweight in the world at this point. And that Whittaker right there is gonna give Izzy a decent fight, man. That guy's good. Whittaker's still really, really good. And man, I don't know where Gastelum goes from here, man. This guy he shouldn't be at 185. That's the problem. But his bed's made at this point, I think, as far as being at that weight class. He's not gonna beat those guys that just have that size and more power on him, man. And Whittaker told on him. That was a fucking incredible performance.
It's still not the worst loss, and like the dude's like 1-2 in his last 3. I mean, he beats most taking
guys.
That fight, and he's losing to Whittaker, who's the second best middleweight in the world. he can still fight lots of guys in that.
Yes, well,
Just never. He's never going to have that belt. He's never going to get.
No, that's no.
And that's
never.
okay. Some guys
He's not going to get the
never
welterweight belt either.
Some guys are never. It's okay, right? Some guys are never going to be champs. You know, Gastelum. Like when we first watched Gastelum, right? When you first saw him come on the scene, you saw him on Tough. He started his career. Did anyone think he'd be fighting for the belt? And he did. You know, he fought for the belt, and like I actually feel like he's maximized his career as much as he could. And I know, I do. All right, he
could have took it seriously and been a welterweight, and probably
but he would get wrestle fucked at welterweight.
No, by who?
Now he
wrestle.
You think now he would? Back when he was coming up.
Not now. Like Usman doesn't wrestle.
No.
They sit there and have a kickboxing match.
Think about what made him move up to middleweight. It was losing a shitty decision to Woodley that if he was in shape, and fought at the pace he fights at middleweight, he would have won that fight. He would have got a title shot at welterweight.
Robbie Lawler.
Against Robbie Lawler. He could have beat Robbie Lawler at that point.
That's true.
All I know is, regardless of weird circumstance of the welterweight division at the time, Gastelum's never been a guy who's good enough to win a belt, in my opinion, with his skill set and everything else. I don't know. I've never seen him as like that guy. I've seen him as a top 5 guy.
When he fought Izzy the first time,
he has done way better than I ever expected.
The guy that fought Izzy that one night was good enough to win a title. He was.
Night, though.
But that's anybody on one night, on a given night. Gastelum at one point was good enough to win a belt. He had Izzy beat. He had that dude beat.
That was at 185. That has nothing to do with the weight cut at 170 or anything.
No,
maybe
but
the advantage he fought 185 and didn't have to just deal with wrestlers 24/7 as much.
I just never thought it was the circumstances that he never stayed at 170. It was the discipline that the dude had problems making weight the entire time.
Yeah.
Now he's an undersized, pudgy 185. You know?
Yeah, he's underachieved at welterweight because I think he could have been a champion at welterweight. And he's overachieved at middleweight because he almost was a champion in a division he had no business being competitive.
Because if he was a welterweight current day, if he had his whole career there, he could win a title current right now. You don't think he couldn't win a kickboxing match on a given night against Usman? Usman's not going to be taking him down. He doesn't take guys down. He could beat that guy on a given night.
Usman could
do whatever the fuck he felt like.
him. Exactly.
Probably. Probably.
You think he beats Kobe?
The guys that came for this current
Kobe's a bad matchup for everybody except Usman. Like
Usman.
Everyone.
Even Usman.
Yeah, I mean, it's Usman's toughest fight. Even if they fought again, it's absolutely his toughest fight.
So before we go on the next card, I got to give hats out, a big shout out, hats off to Dana White, who obviously I don't like, but so Leon Edwards fucks the last fight up, whatever, and then he's fighting Nate Diaz, and he's like, I'm gonna beat Nate Diaz, and they can't stop me from a title shot. Dana White today, Colby Covington gets winner. I mean, sitting on the sidelines, see what happened, just waiting, and now Leon's fighting Nate. Like, God, what do I got to do? If let's say, I hope Usman or Colby or whichever one wins again. Probably Usman's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need Leon.
Yeah,
never fights for the belt ever.
No. What would be the best is if they asked him about that fight and they go, "Who?" That would be the
best. Sean, how do you feel about that Edwards Diaz fight?
It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be very sad. It's gonna be very sad for me.
For me,
that does not mean I'm not gonna throw away money on that fight.
It's gonna be sad for all of us because I mean, even as much as Lance hates fucking Nate, I think he hates Leon just a little bit more.
Yeah, more. Yeah, I
definitely plus 350 at Bet Online right now.
I'm playing Nate. I mean, I'm not betting.
That's
Leon
worth a stab.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you don't bet Leon in that fight. Anyway, let's move on now. We got some fights to break down for this weekend, which is UFC 261, Usman vs. Masvidal 2. No, I am not kidding. They made that rematch. Usman had to go out there, earn the title shot, and now he gets Masvidal again, who's been sitting out for a year. That's how it works, baby. It's a real sport. So we'll start off in the women's strawweight division, and we have, what is it? It's 3 women's fights. 2 too bad. Liang, I think I was right. Liang versus Ariane Carnelossi. Just starting off with a banger, ladies and gentlemen.
Kick this card off right. You just threw 3 better elbows than we will see.
There's no way they can throw elbows that force when I got these forearms and they got nothing. Look at this. You would think this is photoshopped.
I mean, that's like one of their legs. Seriously.
Oh, God.
I have no idea who this Asian lady is. I think we're gonna.
I have no idea who the other one is.
Yeah.
The other one got her ass kicked by Angela Hill like a year and a half ago. So Brazilian. I have no idea what is going to happen in this fight. Probably just pick the dog for Tout Master and not watch it and see if I win.
Brad, the only thing I know is they're going to bring it.
The ladies always bring it.
The ladies always bring it. Wes, who you got? Trick you, curveball.
This shit feels like how Izzy gets his fucking punching bag guys fights and how Connor used to get his punching bag, Jim punching bags fight, because there's like 3 or 4 fighters from China on this card that I'm not sure I've ever watched. I think we talked about it before. So the only person on fucking in the States that's probably seen these people is Composer, and I think it'd still be kind of rough to say that. I don't know, man. I got nothing on this fight. I'll probably pick the dog like Sean and Tout Master, and no bet for me.
There's no reason to pretend the card starts at the time it actually starts. Just 30 minutes forward.
More than that, I think. But you talked about Connor's punching bags. How dare you disrespect Bellator's number 7 ranked middleweight Charlie Ward like that? All right, that man's a legend.
Is he number 7?
He's actually ranked number 7.
Are we talking about FSU hoops and football, or are we talking about MMA fighting?
We're talking about
Charlie Ward?
Irish Charlie Ward. The guy that got
dual sport superstar.
Heisman winner, wasn't he?
Yeah. And it was so good he played a decade for the Knicks. I mean, like,
he was good.
Yeah.
I think the Bellator rankings actually made Bellator look like 50,000 times worse. Because then you look at it and like the number of Charlie Ward, and then like you look at like our light heavyweight division's better than yours, and then it's like Linton Vassell, 6th in the world.
Oh, Bellator.
All right, are we done with this fight?
I hope so.
Artichoke Capoletti.
No, that's a reach. It's too far.
It is.
Yeah,
there's not the right syllables going on.
I feel like you could have done something better with Liang, but maybe next fight if she fights again. All right, flyweight division. Oh God, hold on. I need my spectacles. Liang.
No.
Aurora?
I'm not even gonna try.
Aurora Borealis, maybe, versus Jeffrey Molina, who I believe is that little skinny kid.
He's the Mongolian murderer.
That's his nickname.
It's Liang.
Is his nickname the Mongolian murderer?
Yeah.
What's the line? I'm betting it.
Mongolia's in China? Why is he from Inner Mongolia, but his flag is China? Isn't Mongolia different?
Inner Mongolia is part of China. Mongolia is a country. God damn you guys.
Fuck, I'm stupid.
Your education system is like Wes's.
The hell is Mongolia?
What?
This is a brutal fight. I have no idea who these people are. They're flyweights. Maybe it'll be fun. No idea.
I'm looking at his fights. He beat a guy, and the guy's first name's just E.
Yang.
You don't know about Yang?
You are not Yang. Man,
Dude's a beast. That guy's 13-4. Have some respect.
This guy's best win is
Oh, you gaboo. Is that real? That's not a real name.
As like a standard thing, because none of us know anything about these Chinese fighters. But they all came from Wu-Tang Fighting League. Very prestigious promotion.
For the children.
Over there in the Shaolin province of China. Yeah, diversify your bonds. All right.
I don't like people
Oh man.
Yeah, and apparently they're all like athletic, but I don't know. UFC has their like performance center in China, and they all measure like well, I guess. Maybe not in the hog analysis department. Yeah, I was gonna
say hog analysis. Nah.
They got innies. There.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Wes, did you already talk about this?
Did I?
I don't remember.
Nobody does.
Honestly, I got nothing on this fight. I remember Molina's Contender Series fight was kind of just shitty, boring. Just don't know about these dudes from China coming over here, man. Who does? So I'll probably pick whoever's the dog, and no bet for me.
Yeah, you can definitely skip the first 3 fights of this card.
We're about to have
stopping at 3,
one.
Lance? Are you sure we're only stopping at 3?
Yeah, Natividad after that. Dana with an extra A at the end.
No, that's you. Are we actually skipping the third fight?
Yeah,
I had something to say about that one.
Okay, Kazula Vargas versus Wrong Zoo. Wrong Zoo. There's something you could probably.
Oh, Brad, take it off. This is
I'm just saying, like, if Zhu wrong, then I don't want to be right.
This motherfucker.
These are real fights in this. This is a pay-per-view. This is the first card UFC has had an audience in for over 14 months, and this is the card they're putting in.
This is what you people are gonna die for. Like really, this is the shit you're gonna kill your grandma over. Like really.
Oh no, I died during Wrong Zhu.
Oh man,
God. This is so bad.
That was good. That was worth the entire episode right there.
This card's in Miami or Jacksonville.
Jacksonville,
like the old Jewish people in Florida. They're like, let's go to the fights.
Yeah.
All of these Chinese fighters are gonna get booed so much. I actually feel bad for them. It's gonna be real bad.
Yeah.
Like Dana like gets a crowd back. COVID shit.
They better have
crazy.
Extra security.
He's like, hey, what can we add to this? Let's bring over some Asian fighters.
Let's get some xenophobia in effect.
How many over/under signs in the crowd that say the Kung Flu?
Kung Flu or China virus?
20. We're going to see 20 Kung Flu. How many MAGA hats? Kung Flu, the China virus. We're going to be all up in there. Dana knows what he's doing. He's very smart, man.
Playing to his audience.
It's going to be...
believe excited for fans to be back, knowing what's about to come.
Aren't you pumped for the first woo of the night?
Oh God, he's gonna make every single white UFC fighter come out to "I Am a Real American."
Oh my God. Play it again.
Again. Weidman's coming out in full MAGA gear. Guarantee you. Cool.
Oh yeah, Georgia said John Lineker's fighting in like 30 minutes. I'll have to pull up the phone for that bad boy.
I'm gonna have to go grab my tablet.
I think the results may have leaked. I don't
It's
want
not
to
live
for you.
No, these were all
this was taped like 3 weeks ago.
No, it was earlier today.
If you don't want to know the results, don't look at
the odds.
Yeah, don't look at the betting line.
Yeah.
Hold on, the betting line's still up after the fight.
No,
the lines are still up.
They posted lines like yesterday, but these have been taped like a few weeks ago. The first 3 cards were taped.
Hold on,
because apparently the results didn't leak. You know, it's all
bet on taped fights.
Just this shit.
I mean, it's no different than WWF.
Yeah, that's just pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's live.
But the results are it's scripted.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince can always flip the script on them. All right.
That's true.
You can bet on taped fights.
I don't know. Are they still up? Like, obviously they show up on best fight odds, but I don't know if they're actually up.
No,
I don't know if they're still up. Yeah.
I know Bet Online was taking them down pretty early. They don't even have anything listed at this point.
They had them up. I mean, Johnny fucking Lineker was like minus 475 or something like that at one point. So.
I saw minus 300 for this fight.
I saw minus 800, so I guess he won.
Well, it's like it's like minus 1,200. It's like minus 1,200.
But wouldn't that be the movement anyway? You got a guy that everyone knows versus a guy that nobody knows.
Yeah, but it was that price for a decent amount. It was like minus 485 for a while, and then all of a sudden it started getting hammered down.
Wow. All right, let's move on. Next fight. Dana with an extra A at the end by accident versus Kevin Natividad. New Sean.
Dana Batgerel. She's not the greatest. I guess beating Guido Connelly is
big feat.
Quite the thing in 2021. I guess that was in 2020. Yeah, I think some people were hyped up on Natividad going against Miles John, and he kind of got put in his place, but I don't know. I thought I saw some decent things from him in that fight, so I'll pick him. Not betting him. I've lost way too much money recently, so I probably should be betting an underdog.
Gun shy.
But it's not going to happen.
Gun shy. Wes?
Yeah, I kind of feel in the same way. I feel like our boy Natividad should get a win here. Dog money. I'm trying not to bet it, but I'll probably have to put a little something on him. I guess the Dana Batgirl is training at Jackson's a little bit now, so maybe that helps. Did have a decent win over the Guido. I don't know how much that means. I'm gonna pick Natividad for sure as a dog here, and man, I don't know if it creeps up a little bit. I'll probably have to take some. I just think he's the slightly better fighter.
Bradley, why is there an extra A in Dana's name? I can't. You pronounce it differently? Dana.
Dana.
Duh.
That's what happens when you're from Mongolia. You got an extra A.
What's Mongolia?
See, like actual Mongolia, not inner Mongolia, though, right?
Yes.
What's the inner Mongolia?
It's part of China. We already went over this, Lance. Try and keep up.
Why don't they call it China?
It is China.
Why don't they call
Inner Mongolia?
Tennessee United States?
Because the rest of the United States is embarrassed by the state of Tennessee. Boom.
Well, maybe the rest of China is embarrassed by Inner Mongolia.
Tennessee just passed a law that anytime there's an abortion. Did you see that? In Tennessee now, anytime there's an abortion, you have to cremate or bury it and have like a funeral.
No stem cells.
Okay. And just another way to keep people poor, huh?
Oh, they'll take them stem cells if it'll save their life, but
then you have to bury it.
Yeah.
Get the good shit out of it, then bury the blob.
I don't have much on this fight. Both of these fighters have beaten very bad fighters on their way to the UFC, and also lost to very bad fighters on their way to the UFC. So I wouldn't be surprised if either of those things happens in this fight. So probably the dog, but don't feel good about it.
Well, we had something like this a few weeks ago where we all picked the dog, and then you guys were like, "But I'm not betting it," and I was like, "I'm gonna bet it because it's the dog and we all like it." I don't remember what fight that was.
Jared Gordon.
I think that we all ended up betting it and winning money. So
I like this. We got a Mongolian man who lost to Alitang Lee. Wasn't that his name? What's the little Chinese guy's name he lost to?
Haili Alatang, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Same thing.
Yeah.
Feliz Navidad. You know, he's not horrible. I think he was a little bit gun shy his first fight in the UFC.
Miles Johns also isn't bad.
He's not horrible.
No, he's not bad.
Like the other guy lost to Haili Alatang.
Yeah. He's way better than Dana So I think, what is it, plus 140?
Batgirl can in fact not defeat Christmas.
Is that Jake the Snake Roberts?
Yeah, I put that on
plus
too.
160.
Isn't he dead?
I thought he died too.
What's Jake doing?
What the fuck?
Is this on one? Do I gotta turn this shit on?
I don't know what I'm watching. There's like two dudes in tight khakis out here and shit, and then Jake Roberts. I thought he was in a wheelchair.
Oh, is it the end of like AEW?
Yeah, Sting's got to be 90.
Oh, Sting is
Sting looks
Sting's older than the
looks
Undertaker.
bloated. He looks like a fucking coked out Alec Baldwin or something now.
I hate that Cody became so successful with shit like this. It makes me depressed. Anyway, all right, let's move on now. AEW, fucking Jesus. Featherweight division. Patrick
Lance sitting
Sabatini.
over in his house in Tennessee. His buddy from school. Literally like.
Yeah, I remember like it was like 5 years ago, and Cody's girlfriend, wife, or whatever, like messaged me on Facebook, was like, "Do you have any old pictures from wrestling back in the day?" I was like, "Fuck you, send me money."
Buy me a car, bitch.
She was like a wrestler too. I forget her name. We're like friends on Facebook.
Brandy something.
Sure, I'd have to.
That's her wrestling name is Brandy. I don't know what her real name is.
I'd have to look it up. But yeah, life's depressing. What can you do? All right, featherweight division. Patrick Sabatini, Tristan Connelly, who I did not know was still in the UFC, so congrats to him. Canadian, New Sean.
You know the deal. He's Canadian.
Fade him.
You should probably fade him. I'm not gonna do it because I don't know how good the old Pat Sabatini is. But I feel like long term fading Canadians at pretty much any price is probably a winning bet. Connelly's dropping down in weight. He's fought most of his career at 55, and now this is at 45. I'm sure that's not that hard of a cut. He doesn't really have a cut-up body, so maybe he's just been training during the pandemic. I don't think it matters. I think Sabatini's going to win.
He's got that Jim Miller body.
Yeah.
Wes?
Soft.
Wes?
Wes is just enamored by the pro wrestling on the TV.
Where's the bat?
I'm still trying to wonder if I saw Jake the Snake Roberts ghost just now. Connelly got a okay win over Pereira about a year and a half ago, but that was still kind of dumb shit Pereira that he ended up beating. And he is Canadian.
Stop watching the damn fights.
He's probably gonna get wrestle fucked here, right? He's gonna get taken down and do Canadian things. I can't bet anything on this fight, man. I'm gonna pick Sabatini too, but no.
Brad.
I was going to bet Sabatini as a dog against Rafael Alves before that dude missed weight by like 7,000 pounds. And I felt pretty good about that. I don't feel great about him in this fight. I think that Connelly, he out-grappled Pereira, which, like, all the dumb shit you want to say about Pereira, he's actually a pretty decent grappler. Mm-hmm. So that kind of means something to me, and that was at 170. Now he's coming down to 145. I think that this is going to be a bit of a struggle. And the only reason I haven't bet Connelly yet is because he's Canadian. But, man, Connelly decision, it's like plus 350, staring me in the face. I'm thinking that might be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a guy making a UFC debut versus a guy dropping down in weight who hasn't fought in 2 years who's Canadian. It's not exactly the most enticing fight to bet. Sabatini looks the part. He's supposed to be good, but I don't know. There's no way I'm laying juice on him, and there's no way I'm taking Connelly off a very long layoff. And like
layoffs mean less than ever right now because like COVID, weird training conditions. Dude, Man Mountain just came back a couple weeks ago and beat the brakes off of
that is heavy weights, though.
And then they came back off of 4 years and beat the brakes.
Now's the time.
That's WMMA.
Heavyweight and WMA are their own class.
Keep making excuses. Keep making excuses.
All right, let's now move on. This is where the fight starts to get good. Or the card starts to get good, except for the fight after this. Middleweight division. Carl Roberson taking on my dude, Brendan Allen. Love this guy. Kind of looks like Sean a little bit.
Does he?
I don't
know. A little bit.
I don't know.
I don't see that.
I see it.
Are you saying that he's tall?
Goofy, no. Tall, goofy.
Yeah, that should be a fun one. I think I lost some money on Brendan Allen last time out against Strickland. Strickland's pretty decent, especially when he can keep things on the feet. It seems like he's kind of took a step up after showing some talent in the past. He's just got a lot better recently. In this fight, like Brendan Allen gets hit a lot, which is concerning. I just don't know how much this is going to be on the feet. I think if Brendan Allen's smart, he's going to take this down. Roberson has very, very questionable takedown defense and sub defense. I expect Allen to get this down and get a sub here. Roberson does have some power, as we saw in the Glover fight and the Ryan Spann fight, but I'll hope that the Brendan Allen he definitely can take some shit. He's got a decent chin on him, so I think he can survive anything Roberson throws at him early and take Roberson down and sub him. So I took sub plus 197. I'm probably going to add inside the distance as well.
Wes?
Yeah, I think, Strickland's kind of, that his last loss, Strickland's just got more tools than Roberson does. Strickland could keep that fight on the feet. And I don't think Roberson can. Roberson's got some of the worst takedown defense that you'll ever see. Dude loves getting put on his back. And Brendan Allen is fucking good when he gets guys to the mat. Not just his subs, but his ground and pound is just it's really good. So yeah, I like Allen inside the distance here. Probably sub. I lean that way too. But I'm just going to go inside the distance because, like I said, I think his ground and pound he could put some smoke on Roberson on the ground and get him out of there that way too. And yeah, I like Brendan Allen. I thought that last time out was just I don't know what that was. That was like a catch weight fight, like short notice kind of, I think. So just wasn't a great performance by him of a guy who I think is really, really good. So yeah, Allen inside the distance for me.
Brad?
Yeah, I'm ahead of the curve on all of you. I liked Strickland heading into that fight. You guys tried to talk me out of it, you son of a bitches, and I didn't end up betting it because I don't know. Every once in a while, you have a good idea. That wasn't one of them. But I think in this case, anybody that wants to take down Karl Roberson gets him down. Like, for some reason, I wasn't really watching a lot of MMA at the time. I don't know if it was like a card I was specifically watching, but Wellington Turman beat this dude and took him down a shitload of times. Brendan Allen, if he doesn't get knocked out on like the first exchange, he is going to take him down. And his top game is pretty damn vicious. I remember when he was coming up in the regional scene, he was one of the guys that we thought, this guy actually mixes his ground and pound and his submissions and passing guard and everything all together. And if you do that against Roberson, you're going to get to mount. He's going to swim his arms over like he always does, and you're probably going to arm triangle the dude. And it's probably going to happen pretty quick because Roberson does the same dumb shit on the ground every time. And even if it doesn't, I think that Allen's probably just going to pound him out of there. So I like Brendan Allen. I like him to get it done inside the distance. Stayed away from the sub prop because I can see that TKO possibility, but I think Brendan Allen definitely gets it done here.
Yeah, I have to agree with the guys on this, and I said most of it. But I've always been a Brendan Allen guy. I remember even watching him before he got in the UFC, and I love guys that have vicious ground and pound from the top, decent enough wrestling, and don't just go for subs every single time, but they actually work the ground and pound. And his elbows he's got really good elbows from top. He always finds himself in back mount, just landing elbows on guys. Look at all his highlights, and when you watch his old, a bunch of his fights from the UFC and before, it seems like he's always in some kind of like back mount where the guy's like on his side and he's just laying elbows into him, which usually opens up the rear naked choke for him. So it could be one or the other though, right? Usually he'll soften guys up with the elbows and get the choke in there, but Roberson has about a minute and a half, I would say, in that first minute and a half to land something, because he's going to be defending takedowns, which he can't defend. He's going to be defending subs and ground and pound, which he also can't defend. So it's going to be Brendan Allen getting this done inside the distance. And that's actually That's going to be Brendan Allen inside the distance. Plus 140 is Munich, which is now 716-4 is the overall record. So
Decent.
let's move on now. We can go quick on this one. Welterweight division: Dwight Grant versus Stefan Sekulić.
I have nothing on this fight, so I'm going to take a piss.
Sekulić.
Do you have anything on this?
Dwight Grant should win this fight. I think he's the more skilled guy, but he just doesn't fucking throw a lot at times and makes fights closer than they probably should be. He did get knocked out pretty bad last time out against Daniel Rodriguez. Sekulić doesn't really have that kind of striking and that kind of power, but it is concerning. I'll pick Grant, but laying minus 220 is a little sketchy, I think.
Teddy is out, and when he sleeps, he goes in this ball like this, and he's like this big. Right, Ted? He's fun. Wes?
Yeah, I think Sean pretty much hit everything there. Yeah, I mean, Dwight Grant should win this fight. I feel like he's the better fighter. But man, can you trust laying juice on this guy? I don't think so. I'm gonna pick him, but I want no part of this fight.
Yeah, I think Dwight Grant wins more times than not. He could definitely get him out of there, but I just this is not something I can. Dwight Grant's not the guy you lay juice on. You just don't lay it with him. If he's a big dog, yeah, he could probably get a finish, or he has a chance there, but you can't lay big juice on him. All right, let's move on to a fun welterweight fight. Alex Hopwa Oliveira taking on Randy Brown. You, Sean?
Yeah, that should be a fun one. There's not many Howboy fights that aren't fun, whether he is putting it on some shitty guys or if he's quitting and getting fucked up. I think he can get takedowns against Randy Brown. Randy Brown has some pretty piss poor takedown defense. It's just always a question with Howboy. If he gets something early, he's obviously good. If it goes any longer, then it seems like he gasses and makes questionable decisions. I'll pick Howboy to win. I think this fight it might see a finish because neither of these guys really go to decision that much. I think their ways to win are to finish fights, so I could see that happening.
West?
Yeah, I kind of like Randy Brown in this fight. I just feel like if Howboy doesn't get in there and get a takedown early and just get some vicious ground and pound on him and gets him out of there, I think we know what's going to happen with Howboy. And Randy Brown's usually pretty tough to finish, if anything. And his takedown defense has gotten a little better. And on the feet, man, he's pretty good when shit stays in just pretty much a striking fight. I lean Randy Brown here, but I like the fight doesn't go decision a little bit more. I think Cowboy's path here is definitely an earlier finish. And I think if he doesn't get it, man, we've seen how his fights play out. So I'm going to take some fight doesn't go decision. Last I looked, it was like minus 120 or something like that. I'm going to pick Randy Brown, though. I think he can survive an early Howboy onslaught and end up getting him out of there a little later in the fight.
Brad?
Yeah, I'm just logging in to take a quick look at the Randy Brown round props in this one because I think that Howboy's probably going to have some success early on. But I don't think he's going to be able to get Randy Brown out of there. And then I think the tables are going to turn. We've kind of gone back to the well a couple times on the Howboy doesn't go as a Munich. And I think it applies here once again. He had that one little run where he went to a bunch of decisions. And I think that's kind of affected these lines because we've been getting plus money, even money. This time it's minus 120. It's very close. And Randy Brown is a lot of one of those guys that he finishes a lot of his fights, and if he loses, he gets finished as well. So I think whoever wins this fight, I think it's going to be a stoppage. So I've got that doesn't go. And honestly, if the price keeps coming down on Brown, I might have to take him straight because I think he survives and gets it done. But I'll look at those round 2, round 3.
Round 2 is plus 700. Round 3 is plus 1,000. You could
let me check in the free world where we get good numbers on those sorts of things.
Hey, I got sweet Tennessee gambling now.
There you go.
I like Randy Brown. I looked at the inside the distance, which I think is just an automatic reaction when you see Cowboy on one side of it. But I don't know. I think it's also like he's worst. He's like a member of the Washington football team. This dude is so worst. I don't even know what to say. He looks completely dead. Like he's got nothing left. Normally, I'd say it's Cowboy taking him down early, probably beating him up, possibly getting the finish in the ground with some ground and pound. Maybe it goes to a sloppy decision. Maybe Randy Brown takes over late, gets a finish. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be bell to bell Randy Brown here. I think he's just a better overall fighter. I think he's rounded out his game pretty well with his grappling. His grappling has improved a good bit over the last couple of years, where I don't think if he does get taken down or anything, I don't think he's going to be like a fish out of water. And I think Cowboy's done. I just completely done. Last time I looked, Randy Brown was like minus 145. I actually think that's a very, very fair price.
He's coming. It keeps trickling down, so I'm waiting a little bit for.
Cowboy's on that alimony fight league game right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if 100% Randy Brown. I don't know if he definitely finishes. I could see him just, winning rounds, outstriking him, outpointing him. Cowboy's tired, but Randy Brown's playing it smart. Hitting them, maybe third round, Brown even gets some takedowns, gets on top. So I could possibly see this going to decision. It wouldn't completely surprise me. It would very much surprise me if Cowboy was not going to be or was going to win this fight. I don't see it happening. So I like Randy Brown here. All right, let's now move on to the main card, and we start with the light heavyweight division. Anthony Smith taking on Jimmy Crute. You, Sean?
Jimmy Crute's good. A save for, gassing or putting himself in a bad position against after almost finishing the friendly Canadian Serkinov. I think he's looked really good. Like, obviously, it is light heavyweight, so it is tough to gauge how good he is. But I've never been a Anthony Smith fan. He beat some really washed up guys. He's tough, which helps him in some of these fights. I think his durability probably will stand up here. Jimmy Crute is a big finisher, but Anthony Smith has shown some really good toughness. So I played Jimmy Crute by decision at plus 340. I think Smith might be able to take it for 15 rounds. When he's got finished lately, it's been in the 4th and 5th, but Jimmy Crute does throw some firepower, and I think it more comes down to Jimmy Crute's probably going to take him down, and Anthony Smith has pretty good jiu-jitsu defense. His offense is meh, but he's pretty good at not getting sub. He might get smashed out finally on the ground, but I had to take that shot at plus 340.
Wes?
Yeah, that's a good line. I've said it before, Smith, right when he got to the UFC, that he's not great. Like, and then he, like Sean said, he beat some really washed dudes. And he got some hype, man. Got a title shot. I think people gave him more credit for, the Bones fight, when Bones was just doing his normal shit, then fighting down to his competition and shit like he tends to do. And, man, Anthony Smith has taken just some hellacious beatings up until that Bones fight and after. Like, this guy's, like, on the back end. And he's still only like 33, but like we're saying, fight years, that guy's very old. And I like Jimmy Crute, man. I think I've been on that train for a while. He just got caught by Serkinov, and he had Serkinov hurt bad. Everybody does. So, but Serkinov got him with some nice shit, and I think that was a great learning lesson for him. Some guys need those losses. I think he did. So, he's getting Anthony Smith out of there, man. I think it does end up on the ground. Anthony Smith's takedown defense is not great. He always ends up on the mat, and he always ends up on the mat and then gets fucking hammered on. He's just taking too many of them. And Jimmy Crute is a stone cold finisher too, man. That guy goes for finishes. He doesn't play it safe. I think he's gonna put it on Anthony Smith here. I'm gonna have him probably in a parlay for a little safer, and I'm gonna sprinkle on him inside the distance because I think he gets it done there.
Brad.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Croutons as well. Worst part of a salad, but best part of Australia.
Croutons are the best part of the salad.
No, they're not.
What do you mean?
That's gross. It's just moldy bread, Lance.
You don't like croutons?
I didn't say I don't like croutons.
It's like
they're the worst part of a salad.
It's like the meat substitute of the salad.
No, get out of here. That's why you get a Caesar salad with bacon in it.
Me and Helena are doing this thing. I haven't had meat in a month.
No wonder you're so pissed off all the time.
Oh shit, he's living that fucking
that's only
Sean life.
Are you?
That's only a month.
What's going on here?
She watched some documentary.
Oh, I know that. I got bags of straws at my fucking cabinet because the wife saw turtles getting killed down. So
yeah, it's been
yeah, I'm fine with the turtles, man. But yeah, that sucks for you. I had chicken wings for dinner tonight, and they were tremendous.
Helene's been making these incredible meals every night, though. Just, like I've gained weight since we started doing this because I'm just eating so much more food.
teenager swears by it.
Well, you do the whole vegan thingy, right?
That's different.
Oh, I've timed my cheese intake by 10. I'll just
Lance shits like once a week now.
Yeah.
Sean
clogging it all up.
Sean might turn into Justine Kish if you keep talking about dairy like that.
You don't like cheese?
Oh man.
I just shit my brains out, sir.
What's wrong with cheese? Cheese is tremendous.
Lactose intolerant, sir.
Oh, that's terrible. All right.
That's horrible.
I'll talk about the fight for a second though, because it's a pretty good one. Yeah, I like Jimmy Crute here. I think there's a big physical mismatch in this one. So he's going to get takedowns. Whether he's actually able to finish Smith or not, I don't know. I kind of lean more towards the teenager side on this one with the decision prop. It's a good price on that. So, yeah, Jimmy Crute decision definitely wins. Wouldn't hate throwing him in parlays here.
Yeah, I like Crute. I think he might get it. I think he might get a finish in this. I think he's taking him down. I think he's beating him up. And I just don't know how, kind of like Wes said, I don't know how much more Anthony Smith can take. And I think he's going to be very small in this fight. Jimmy Crute's going to be much bigger. He's going to be very aggressive on top. How I see this playing out is first round survival, second round opens with another immediate takedown. And I just don't know if he can take another few minutes of ground and pound once Crute's fresh in that second round after a bad first round. I see this as a ground and pound finish or maybe a mercy rear naked choke. Something like that. Love Jimmy Crute here. I think he got a bad fight out of the way. I don't know if he's a world champ or anything, but I've never been sold on Anthony Smith's skill set. I think, like Wes said, it's kind of like he was in the right place at the right time for a lot of fights to get to a title fight. And he's a heart guy. He's a heart guy. He survives. He toughs shit out. That's all good and great. That works sometimes. It's not going to work here. I think Jimmy Crute's just too big, too powerful, and too skilled. And Anthony Smith's wrestling has never been good. So when he's facing a wrestler who wants to shoot takedowns, that guy's going to get it. And Jimmy Crute's going to get takedowns, and he doesn't land prey. So you got to think a finish comes from that. So I like Jimmy Crute. I'll be putting him in some parlays. And now to the best fight on the card. Easily the best fight.
Yes.
We go to the middleweight division.
We have a question for you coming up on that.
The winner gets Jake Paul of this fight.
No, I actually think the loser might get Jake Paul.
Yeah, it's more like
there you go.
That's a really good winner is disqualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have in the middleweight division, we have Uriah Hall taking on the All-American Chris Weidman. New show, wish you're American so you'd have vaccine running through your blood.
I'm completely fine with where I am. I gotta be honest.
Me and Wes are going to bet on ponies and throw craps. I mean, what?
You can have that. You can have that. I'm good
Worth
for
it.
now.
We just, hey, guess what? We just hope we don't get
Just-
shot on the way.
As long as you don't go by a school on
Yeah,
your
we-
way, you'll be fine.
or a gas station or a supermarket.
Me and Wes have gotten hammered at this casino quite a few times together.
Yeah. Well, not this casino. We
Well,
got hammered.
yeah,
We got hammered on the
yeah.
boat that used to float on the water right next to it.
That and Metropolis are the two ones I went to that were on the boats.
So dumb. It was so fucking stupid.
Ugh.
Got to be on the boat.
All right, new Sean.
I was a bit surprised by this line. I had to downgrade Chris Weidman in a win last time because he looked absolutely atrocious against Omarion. Him getting taken down 4 times, that's supposed to be his thing, and he just got taken down a bunch. Did not do well on the feet either. He looks washed, man. I know he's probably going to be able to take down Hall once, twice. I do expect Hall to get up and not take too much damage when he's down there. After that, Chris Weidman is going to be gassed so he looks like basically a zombie. And at that point, I would hope Uriah Hall throws a strike. That is always the question. When is it going to happen? I hope it happens when his target is a zombie going 5 miles an hour. So I like Uriah Hall here. Stuff some takedowns. Weidman's going to gas, and then he should light him up on the feet. I got 2 units on Hall at plus 111, so you guys are all fucked.
Wes, do you like my new name? Worthington.
Washington. I think it's more like WORSA, like WOOR. Warshed.
It's more like
Worshed.
I would say Worthington.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worst.
Yeah.
It's an sound. Worst.
No, you put that shit in hamburgers.
I
That
don't
kind of
speak this
sauce.
language.
It's starting to grow on you a little bit. You've been down there
Washington.
long enough. Yeah. Yeah, Uriah Hall's gonna beat Chris Weidman, man. Sean broke it down. Well, I mean, I don't get this line. Like Uriah Hall is getting to be a bigger dog by the day. That's just kind of crazy to me. Just like Sean said, watch that last fight. I mean, Weidman got taken down 4 times by Marion. He was getting pieced up on the feet by Marion. Like, we bet Chris Weidman in that spot, and
Big bet.
my God, it was one of those. It was full fucking pucker the entire time.
It wasn't fun.
I mean, if this gets to like the 3rd round, I mean, could you imagine Chris Weidman in a 3rd round against your Uriah Hall? Man, I'm going to be on Hall pretty big here, and I don't think it's going to be as having the pucker factor as I did with Weidman against Omarion. I think it's going to be an easier win. So I like Hall here pretty big as a dog.
Brad, is Hall going to land a spinning back kick? Or possibly
He is
with
not.
a Calcutta
He's
rest
not
hit?
gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna land the Calcutta special. I don't think that's
Or
what.
I bet he does. And if he does, you need to go to Calcutta with Old Sean.
If he
You know,
lands
rest
the if he lands the Calcutta
crash
special when COVID is over,
Oh God.
You'll
and
spend a week in the hills.
and I will travel to India at some point in my life. I will videotape the rat shit eating, and I'll post it on the Twitters.
Brad, COVID's over. Have you not been to Florida? Are you not going to this event?
You know they're doing an entire fight thing down there, right? This weekend.
No, that's
are.
real. I thought they were like doing the
Cardboard.
Thunderdome, just putting a bunch of people on video screens in the stands.
Cardboard cutouts, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
there you go. You pay $1,000, you get your cardboard cutout in the front row. Yeah, this fight, Hall is he might get taken down in the first round. Chris Weidman is still a very skilled fighter. I don't think that he is a very good fighter. I think physically he is hard. Like that Luke Rockhold thing is probably one of the worst single fights to happen to one fighter in MMA history.
He died.
He hasn't been the same dude. Yeah, he hasn't been the same dude.
He died and came back to life, didn't
he? And now he's fighting a guy that is still a good, warm body. And not only is he that, he's an accurate, dangerous striker. I like I said, I think Weidman might be able to get a takedown in the first round, win that round, but at some point in this fight, he is getting put out. And I don't really see it happening any other way. So I've got Hall TKOs like plus 225. I think that's pretty good. We'll take a look at the round prices later in the week, but Hall in this one, I've got the money line, I've got TKO, pretty big on him here.
Yeah. Sadly, I have bet Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
I want to say in every fight in his UFC career. I'm not kidding. I think I've literally bet him every fight.
He's made us a lot of money.
Yeah.
In his UFC career, every fight except I didn't beat him. Jacare. I bet on Jacare. Jacare is higher on the.
And he was winning that fight.
He was. I was gonna be mad at myself because I finally bet against Weidman and he was gonna win. But yeah, how that ended. Weidman, man, I don't know how you can win a fight against a ranked guy. Shouldn't be ranked, but ranked guy, and drop down like all the way to the bottom. He looked so bad in that win. He looked like he had absolutely nothing left. It looked like it took every ounce of his being to make that 15 minutes for the rest of his life. Like he won't be able to play slow pitch softball because he used all his energy in that fight. Like it is it. He cannot come back from that. Like he has to crawl up the stairs because he's so tired 6 months later from that fight. He looked awful. His wrestling didn't even look good. His wrestling didn't look crisp. Even early on, like he did not look good. Uriah Hall is not the easiest guy to take down. He's not British. And his striking is still there. And Uriah Hall is kind of on the up right now. Like he's looked better than normal, I'd say, his last few fights. And Hall looks for 36. I mean, he's obviously in peak physical condition, and his thing's always been the mental game. But man, I think Hall is gonna just absolutely cruise here. And he's not shit talking. It's Uriah Hall, but he's like, I want to avenge my loss. I want to do this. I want to hit him. Like I think he's actually okay hitting people finally in his career, and he's going to hit Weidman once. And I don't think Weidman can take a shot. And even if he can, I don't think Weidman has the capability to go more than 7-8 hard minutes. And my worry is sometimes fighting Hall, the minutes aren't very hard until he hits you in the face. It's a lot of dancing, but I don't see a path here for Weidman. The lay-in play is not going to work. He's not going to be able to hold Hall down. He's going to gas out. First clean shot, it's over. Love Uriah Hall here. This is actually going to be the consensus bet of the week. So we went consensus on Weidman when he fought last, and now we're going the other way. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll love you forever for those Anderson Silva fights. But Uriah Hall's the play. Let's now move up to a title fight, I guess.
Before we do that, Lance, for the fans, you need to rank the best rank 1, 2, 3 the title fights on Saturday of ones you enjoy.
It's almost impressive that they were able to find 3 fights this bad to be title fights. I'll say, oh God, I gotta put Namajunas, China Lady as number 1.
It has to be, right?
Yeah, I think that has to be, mostly because I think watching Rose get punched in the face is funny. There could be dollies thrown in the cage. Her comments about the like, give me a fucking break. Rose sucks. She's on the list. You don't want to be on the list, trust me.
Yeah.
It's the same list that people say Charlie Olives. That gets you on a list. Rose is also on that list. I think after that, I would say the Usman Masvidal fight, and then Shevchenko Andrade is somewhere around the Liang Carnelossi fight. I can't think of anything I enjoy less than watching Shevchenko fight. The grunting, the things that she thinks she's actually like a pound for pound great, the annoyingness, the tattoos, the guns, she thinks she's pretty. She's not pretty. You're not pretty at all.
The
Can't
dancing.
deal with it. I can't. I almost forgot. She has so many bad qualities.
Shit with her. Yeah.
She has so many bad qualities. I almost forgot about her worst quality. So that one's last. But let's start now.
Beautiful.
With the Shevchenko fight. We'll go quick through these 3 fights because they're not good. Not good. Nushan?
Yeah, I've been a Jessica Andrade fan for a while. I like her because she actually has finishing power and does cool shit. Doesn't happen very often in the women's weight classes. I just find it hard to believe she's going to be able to do anything to Shevchenko. When she fought Joanna, she was completely outclassed in Valentina's. Joanna and Bettor on the ground. So I have Shevchenko in a 2-unit Chalk City parlay.
Yeah, Wes. What are you doing?
Is that a saw?
Oh, man.
It's a stool.
It's a chair. I thought he had like a fucking manual saw in his hand.
We got the dolly going on here.
Oh,
Nice.
You
I'm
look,
scared.
somewhere Rose just went.
Right? She might pull out of the fight now. That's real.
I'm scared for her. I got the PS. Should I change it back?
I think so. We're at that point in the card.
Yeah. I just had to get some Washington.
That was in the garage where the beer also was. So that was the
And
real
that's
thing
where
I
you
wanted to get.
train.
No,
That's where the training takes place for your Bellator debut.
No. If I trained in the garage, that'd be good.
Sure.
The training happens out in the shanty in the backyard.
The grass.
No, we've got come on, I've got a pool house. What are you talking about?
All right, Wes.
Yeah, same as Sean. I like Andrade. One of the few that actually, finishes chicks and has a little power.
How do you finish a chick? I haven't been able to accomplish that.
I don't know.
I wouldn't know. It
a
doesn't surprise me.
What you're talking about?
I don't think I've ever done it in my life. But, I just she's gonna have problems here, man. That just Shevchenko's length and she's just better, man. It's gonna be a really, really boring Shevchenko dancing around and landing her jab and shit. I think she wins a decision here fairly easily, and I have her in a chalk parlay as well.
Brad.
I want Shevchenko to lose, and I'm hoping it happens sooner rather than later. So I'm probably going to have some sort of dumb bet on Andrade. But I actually don't think she's going to finish Shevchenko because, she fought a bunch with Amanda Nunes, didn't get finished there. I don't think that Andrade does it. So I'm going to have a real stupid bet on Andrade by decision.
Yes.
It's plus 950 I saw somewhere. But you guys are forgetting. Jennifer Maia took her down and controlled her for an entire round. Jessica Andrade could absolutely have 3 rounds in this fight where she just picks her up and puts her on the ground and then lays on her, and she can win a decision. Shevchenko is not that good. She's definitely not fun. I can't believe that the inside the distance price is cheaper than the decision price on her in a fight ever. So yeah, I'm going to make a stupid bet here, but half a unit.
I thought that would be a little bit higher.
20.
Yeah,
20 to 1.
I was thinking 15.
Hey, that's because odds makers see what I see.
Yeah. I think Shevchenko rolls. I think she does her normal dance around, kicker, make grunts. Real exciting stuff. And also, John Lineker walking to the cage now. Yep. John Lineker lost a split decision to Corey Sandhagen. The UFC was like, yeah, you can take a hike.
And
they're already introducing him for me.
And he didn't.
You guys need to catch up.
He didn't lose it.
God, so fucking stupid. Anyway, let's move on now to the women's strawweight division as we have Zhang versus Rose Namajunas. The worst, that lady. Oh.
Did you hear the translation from last week, Lance? Because I know you don't listen to the podcast.
I hate podcasts.
Understandably so.
Yeah, I hate podcasts.
But in Lithuanian, Nama means I hate, and then Junas, much like German, means Jew. Yeah.
And then like you add in the shaved head, skinhead,
exactly.
Jew hater.
I mean,
I think I saw her in American History X.
But yeah, we never have been Rose Namajunas fans on this podcast ever.
So in her defense, though, she was sexually abused when she was younger by Pat Barry when she was 16 and he was 34.
That is very true.
So she had some issues. She was dating a man that was 40 years older than her. Fuck you, Rose. You, Sean?
I like Zhang to win in this fight. She's going to be the much more physical fighter. She could probably take Rose down if she wanted to, and she has decent power on the feet. Namajunas can look good at times. I don't think she has the cardio in her to do that for 5 rounds. I think Zhang Weili is gonna fuck her up. I don't know if she finishes her, but I think she's gonna win a fairly easy decision. I got her in that chalk parlay, that 2-unit chalk parlay.
Wes?
Yeah, pretty much the same for me. Rose has little spurts where she's good, and just a lot of the time where she looks really, really bad. And I think Zhang is actually pretty good. So I think she gets an easy decision here, and she's in the chalk parlay.
Brad?
Yeah, I don't think Zhang is particularly good in terms of her technique, but she is more powerful and more technical than Jessica Andrade, who is pretty good at both of those things as far as strawweight women are concerned. So I just think that Rose isn't going to like what's coming at her in this fight. And we've seen from Rose that, you can get inside that head a little bit. She is pretty tough in actual fights. And actually, if she maybe would keep her mouth shut, maybe fun to watch. But mostly it's just fun to watch her get beaten up. And I think there's going to be a lot of that in this fight where, she might be able to outslick Zhang for a couple minutes in this one, but eventually that constant pressure is just going to break her down, and she is going to get the breaks beaten off of her. So I'll wait until that Zhang points handicap comes out, because I think it could be a wide decision or a stoppage here.
Yeah, I like Zhang a good bit here. Rose does that that pitter patter, stick and move, circle. That's just not going to work here. Zhang's going to charge forward. She's going to be aggressive. She's going to push her. She can bully her in this fight. She is so big. She can definitely bully her here. And I just don't think this is going to be very, very close fight. And I think Zhang retains. And hopefully Rose Namajunas retires after this, because I think she does. I think she will retire after this fight. All right, welterweight division: Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal. I can't believe this is happening. New show.
Can you imagine talking about this fight? Well, John Lineker is just swinging hooks at
shots.
Absolute body bag standing in front of him.
He just
can you believe the UFC let this guy walk?
I can, because that's how fucking stupid the UFC is.
A little guy who's one of the most exciting fighters in the world at a 135 weight class.
He was just throwing haymakers to the body. He just punched him in the dick.
All right, it's the perfect time.
Yeah, you're not going to get any breakdown out of me out of this fight until Lineker smokes this dude.
Just Sean, go.
I don't think there's much to say. This is going to be a one-sided beatdown. If anything, Usman has got better since the first time. He actually has a full fight camp to just hone his skills and just be able to do whatever he wants to Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal's got a puncher's chance, a kneer's chance. That's about it. I got Usman in that 2-unit chalk parlay with the other chalk women, plus 130 for 2 units. I put him with Hubbard last week. That's minus 106 for a unit. And I'll probably play the points handicap, and I'm looking at inside the distance at plus 290.
Does Whittaker have the best body work in the history of MMA?
The best.
Yeah, the best. I think it's because he's so low to the ground. It's like most people, they're punching like a head there. He just punches like he's punched them in the head. It just happens to be their stomach.
Oh my god!
Oh, this
beautiful to watch.
Who is this? Where'd they find this guy to fight Whittaker?
I don't care.
They went to a construction site and said, "Hey, come here."
Honestly, they could put Lineker hitting a heavy bag on TNT, and I would watch that shit.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I do like that one's on TV now because I do like watching Lineker.
This guy is throwing inside low leg kicks and shit on Johnny fucking Lineker. You kidding me?
That's not smart. He doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. Uh-oh.
It's funny because this guy also looks like he's about a weight class bigger than Lineker, at least.
It doesn't matter.
He hit him with 2 lefts and just
hurt this man. The hooks are real.
This man is awesome.
Brutal. Anyway, Wes, who you got in the Masvidal fight? You can go 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't hard. Like, nobody wanted this fight. We all know how this fight's going to go. I don't even really think Jorge has like some puncher's chance or something, really. I mean, it happens when lightning strikes too. I don't see it, man. Usman has gotten even better since they fought last time. I think he probably gets a finisher this time. He's going to be more confident. The shit talking. I think Usman's gonna send a message, and I like the finisher. I got Usman in so many sport parlays to cash, and I like the points handicap. I'm gonna look at that when it comes out, and I'm sprinkling on that inside the distance too, man. It's like around 3-1. I think
it's plus 290.
I think there's a chance that Usman finishes Masvidal on this fight.
Brad?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that the narrative is, Masvidal didn't have a full camp, it didn't have time to train. He was training pretty much that whole time, and he was training with a focus on Usman. If anyone was at a disadvantage from that short notice, I actually think it was Usman, because he had to change up his strategy and focus on a different guy, 5-6 days out from the fight. And we saw that Burns was actually a test for him, and he probably knew that based on all the shit they did training together. So I think that they're going to put a pretty good game plan together. I kind of trust Trevor Whitman in this regard. He's a good trainer. Usman has made improvements since the first fight. I think Masvidal is just going to be a smaller version of the same dude that was in the first fight. I don't think the cardio matters here. Even if he's got great cardio, he's still going to get taken down by Usman when Usman wants to. But honestly, I think Usman is just going to know how to fight this dude better, and he's going to beat him up even worse than he did last time. So the points handicap is going to be the big thing for me. But I'll also take a look at that inside. And some round 4, round 5 props are silly prices, 2,500s, 3,300s.
Yeah.
Or are you guys just seeing the knockout now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, he's dead.
Oh, my God, he's fucking
the UFC let that guy walk.
I got that a couple minutes ago.
They let him walk.
How do
you let the best guy, the most exciting guy, maybe under 170
in your organized,
maybe in the whole org in general?
Yeah.
My God, he's got this dude fucking staring at stars like a neighbor.
Could you imagine if we had Peter Yan versus John Lineker next week?
God.
Jan's going out in a body bag.
Peter Yan would turn into Justine Kish.
Well, it's funny. It's funny how it broke down when everything changed. Whittaker could literally be the champ in the UFC if he was still there.
Lineker could knock any of these guys out. It's incredible, man.
The one time he doesn't throw a hook, he actually threw it right down the pipe.
Yeah.
And then dropped him.
That follow-up in the ground was bad. I like Usman this fight just like everyone else. I hate to bore you guys, but I pick retaining in all 3 fights. I think Usman has been. I think the story here is Usman dominated a year ago. Usman has been training his ass off. Usman has been getting better. He's been changing things. He's been getting a lot better. He's been active. He fought Burns. Masvidal probably doing less than he was a year ago at this time. He knows this is one last payday for him. I bet he's not training very hard. I bet he's not doing what he's supposed to. I bet he's not doing any of the things that someone would do to kind of avenge a loss. Masvidal's a moron. He's a complete idiot. And we talked earlier about, I forget who it was, a certain couple guys, Gastelum or Anthony Smith, where you kind of had good circumstances to get to a certain place. Same exact thing with Masvidal, right? In any other time in the last 15 years, does Masvidal and his body of work get him a title shot? Probably not. He fought Ben Askren.
He's been around for the last 15 years, and he's had the body of work, and it hasn't got him a title shot. That's the exact point.
We found out Ben Askren was fighting the knockout, whatever, but he had to get a hip replacement right after that fight. He literally had to get a hip replacement, and then he beats up
got knocked out by a YouTuber.
Yeah, and then he beats Nate Diaz, who's a walking punching bag, maybe one of the worst fighters in UFC history. What did Masvidal do to earn a title shot? Absolutely nothing. Masvidal has just been hanging out in Miami, talking about COVID as a hoax, wearing his MAGA hat. He's not getting better. Usman is getting better. That's one of the guys who becomes champ and works harder every day. You can just tell he is built like that. Usman one day is going to get old. He is going to get old, but if you look at his body, even versus age, he's a little bit older doesn't seem like he is, but he's a little bit older. He is in perfect shape and he's getting better every day. This is a blowout. This is a blowout all the way. Love Usman here. I think the line's actually a steal. Even the money line. So like Usman, think he takes care of business here. But that'll do it for this week's show. We appreciate you guys listening. Sorry that this card has 3 title fights and sucks real bad. But who knows? Maybe something's interesting. And there's a couple. Once we get to the actual second level prelims and the early card, it's not too bad. So I think we'll enjoy ourselves. So we'll be back next week. We really appreciate it. Talk to you later.